Alright everybody, what is going on? I just finished watching the first episode of Ansatsu Kyoushitsu, I believe is how you'd say it, or Assassination Classroom, and this was a pretty interesting anime. For those of you who haven't watched it, it is pretty much the main premise of the show is there's this alien who was apparently born on Earth, but anyway, is pretty much an alien who blew up about 70% of the moon, making it into a crescent shape, I should say, and now comes to Earth, makes an agreement with pretty much the governing forces of Earth to teach this classroom of misfit children, known as Class E, or I believe it was the End Class, or something like that, and, it's pretty much weird, and so pretty much the whole premise is this classroom has to assassinate this alien within a year before he decides to blow up Earth. And, first of all, what I want to say is, I haven't read the manga. Like I said, I don't really read manga that much. I'm more of a visual person. I like anime, but I have a feeling that quite a bit from the manga was changed, to put it into anime form. Like, instead of actually using bullets to kill this alien, they're using these BBs. I have a feeling that those might have been one of the things that in the manga they may have used bullets, but for the anime they decided to use BBs, which was probably a good decision on their part, because the second there's a shooting in a Japanese school, they're going to blame this anime for it, if they did in fact use real bullets. So for safety purposes, I'm kind of glad they decided to make that change, if that is a change they made. I just have a feeling, just from some of the stuff I saw in this anime, there's probably a couple things they changed from the manga to put it into the anime. But overall, let's go and start with the opening and the ending themes. Overall, I liked them both. They were pretty good. I felt they fit the anime pretty well. But overall, like I told you guys, the main story of what I told you pretty much sums up the first pretty much the first half of the first episode, where it's pretty much explaining what this alien is doing here and why he's teaching a classroom. There's a few loopholes, kind of like, how did they come to the conclusion, out of everything they could possibly think of, how did they come to the conclusion, okay, we're just going to let him teach a class for the next year before he decides to blow up the planet, letting this classroom of kids try to assassinate him within that year before he just decides to blow up the entire planet Earth. There are a few loopholes, but, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it doesn't need to make a whole lot of sense. For the most part, story-wise, everything like that, it doesn't really hold up together. The story in itself just kind of has a little bit, quite a few holes in it, actually, that don't really make a lot of sense, and if you dive deep into it, it just makes you wonder, like, how did they come up with this conclusion, or this solution to this scenario? And it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but like I said, it doesn't really have to. I will say, I will say that the comedy in this show is actually, pretty funny. It's kind of like, a lot of it is a little bit random. It's just, overall, I really did like the comedy in the show. It did make me laugh quite a few times. I really did enjoy the comedy. It is a type of comedy that I wish I saw more often in more anime shows, just because some of the comedy was really good. Some of it felt kind of a little flat, but for the most part, I do feel that the comedy was pretty good. And as far as the art and animation goes, I don't really think it was anything outstanding. It wasn't bad either. It was just kind of... It was what it was. I don't feel like the art and animation was anything fantastic. There are a few moments where they kind of deviate and do something a little bit different, but overall, I feel like the art and animation was something you'd see more or less in most anime. It wasn't anything extra spectacular, but it fit the purpose for what the anime was trying to do. But for all intents and purposes, I thought the anime was pretty good. It told the story, it pretty much summed up the story pretty well. Like I said, I feel like they may, from the manga perspective to anime, may have maybe glossed over a few things, because it did seem like the story had a few loopholes in it, that maybe were explained in more detail in the manga. But I will say, for an anime that is pretty lighthearted with just a ridiculous story, what was pretty entertaining to watch, had some good comedy, and so far the anime does revolve around a whole classroom of characters, so I don't really feel like there's going to be a whole lot of character development other than one character in the anime. I don't really feel like there's going to be a whole lot of character development just because the anime focuses on a whole class that looks like it consists of about maybe 15 to 20 students. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of character development on most of the characters. Maybe just one student and the alien teacher, but that's about it. So overall, I thought the anime was alright. For an introductory episode, it was pretty good. It was a nice, lighthearted anime with some really good comedy in it. It did make me laugh quite a bit. Overall, I just felt the anime was alright. I'd probably give the anime maybe about a 6.5, or the episode 1 anyway, about a 6.5. It was alright. I'm not really sure I'm too pumped for the rest of the anime. I will probably watch episode 2 to see if I want to carry on further into the season or into the anime. But that's pretty much what I felt about it. If you guys have seen it, please let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'd be really curious to see what you guys think, see if there's anything I really missed. Thank you all for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. You are all awesome. Thank you all so much for the love and support on the previous videos. I love you all, and I will see you all on the next video. I am out.